I'm VJ Hamilton and welcome to the Autoimmune RESET, the place for you to learn how to thrive with autoimmune disease and feel empowered to take steps to transform your health to feel better than ever. You can start making changes today to improve your health. So with every episode, my mission is to share with you simple ways to up-level your diet and lifestyle with key learnings from my own journey reversing autoimmune disease and inspirational stories from those who have reset their autoimmune symptoms and are now thriving in life. I suffered from autoimmune disease for over 25 years and now I live symptom-free, and I wish the same for you as well. So thank you for being here and sharing this time with me. Now let's get started. Hello and welcome to today's Friday 5 episode. I'm your host, VJ Hamilton. I'm a nutritionist, scientist and expert in autoimmune disease. And today we're going to be covering 5 surprising potential causes of multiple sclerosis that you might not know about. As you may be aware, my brother has multiple sclerosis. I actually ran the Great North Run last weekend and I was raising money for the MS Society, which I, felt very honoured to be able to have done. There are many things that my brother has tried from a, natural health perspective, and I work with lots of clients with multiple sclerosis as well. And it's interesting, there is a lot of research around potential causes of multiple sclerosis, which I find a lot of my clients who have multiple sclerosis haven't heard about. And obviously, I'm not just going to assume that this is the case for them, but when we explore whether this is a factor for them, and if we find that there is, for example, a deficiency in a particular vitamin, then I know that this is linked to symptoms of multiple sclerosis. And I find that when we address some of these factors, they see a lot of relief from their symptoms. So I want to go through some of these causes of multiple sclerosis based on research that you might not have heard of. And just quickly, if you're not familiar with multiple sclerosis or MS, it is a complex condition which is driven by an autoimmune response, and genetic susceptibility and immune dysfunction are certainly part of the condition, but there are numerous reasons why people develop the symptoms of multiple sclerosis, and I don't think any one person has the same fact pattern. So let's start with the first potential root cause when it comes to multiple sclerosis, and that is a vitamin B12 deficiency, because you may think of B12 as primarily a nutrient for energy and red blood cell production, and it's something that I noticed on my test results that I had enlarged red blood cells when I was first making changes for my health, and that obviously affects your red blood cell production, but it also plays a crucial role in your nerve health. And vitamin B12 is vital for the maintenance and formation of the myelin sheath, and that's what is attacked in multiple sclerosis. It's this protective layer around the nerve that is attacked. And when vitamin B12 levels are low, it can lead to symptoms that closely mimic MS. And actually, somebody can have a vitamin B12 deficiency. And I have heard of people being diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, and it has been linked to a vitamin B12 deficiency. So it's worth checking. And symptoms of low levels of vitamin B12 can be numbness, fatigue, and even cognitive difficulties. And the thing about vitamin B12 is it's not always as straightforward as testing for your blood serum levels. You may need to look at your functional B12 levels, and there are various tests that you can do for that, one being the methylmalonic acid test. That's the test that I did, and when that is high, it gives you an indication that you may have a issue with vitamin B12. So if you have multiple sclerosis or you have similar symptoms, then it is worth checking your vitamin B12 levels, because there is certainly a link there. Next, let's talk about aquaporin 4. And aquaporin 4 is a water channel protein, and it's found in the brain and the spinal cord, and we know those are the areas that are attacked when it comes to multiple sclerosis, and it plays a critical role in maintaining the balance of water in the central nervous system. And some studies suggest that certain common foods like corn and soy and spinach, tomatoes, beans, lentils and peas, which actually some of these foods are removed in an AIP type diet, an autoimmune paleo protocol type diet where they remove these inflammatory foods. Well, these foods contain proteins that look similar to the aquaporin 4, and they have sequencing of amino acids, and they can see the patterns. And what that means is that the immune system is then going to recognize these foods as the aquaporin 4. So if your immune system starts reacting to these foods, it then can react to aquaporin 4. And what that means is that if your immune system mistakenly attacks those proteins, it can contribute to the autoimmune response that's seen in MS, because it can cause an issue with the blood-brain barrier. And one of the factors that is often seen in multiple sclerosis isn't just the autoimmune issue, it's that there has been an impairment in the blood-brain barrier, which means that certain bacteria and other things can move from the blood into the brain, and that can cause this immune response, or into the spinal cord. And that's why the aquaporin 4 proteins being targeted by the immune system can be such an issue. So that may be an area to look into. The third surprising factor is that there is a toxin which is produced by Clostridium, and it's a bacteria that is commonly found in the gut, and I will often check for this when I'm working with clients with multiple sclerosis. And it produces a toxin which has the ability to increase the blood-brain barrier permeability and damage myelin. And this toxin creates tiny holes in the blood-brain barrier, and that, as I said, allows these harmful substances to enter the brain and can cause inflammation. Maintaining a healthy gut microbiome is crucial for this, because when you don't have a healthy gut microbiome, it means that you're more likely to have higher amounts of Clostridium. And I have seen this in many clients that I work with multiple sclerosis, which is why if you have multiple sclerosis, it is worth doing a stool test and looking into this as a factor. Next, let's talk about the shingles virus, the varicella zoster virus, and I'm going to refer to it as VZV. And most of us know VZV as the cause of chickenpox, and it later reactivates as shingles. And this is quite pertinent for my family and my brother, because my nana had shingles the same time that my brother ended up with his first severe symptom of multiple sclerosis, which led to his diagnosis. So many people don't know why this virus has been associated with MS, but the studies have shown that VZV may remain dormant in the nervous system, so you may have had chickenpox as a child, and then when it is reactivated, it can cause inflammation and nerve damage, and that contributes to MS symptoms. So there is more research needed around this, but if you have noticed that you had a virus and you had shingles, or you're around somebody who had shingles or chickenpox, and that was when you developed some of your MS symptoms, then that might be a factor for you, or if you've had it in the past. And lastly, I have spoken about this before, but if you have MS, you are more likely to have a sensitivity to dairy. And while it may sound surprising, certain proteins that are found in cow's milk can cross-react with the myelin protein, and a recent study supported that theory as well. And this can trigger your immune system to attack the nervous system, which can potentially exacerbate symptoms of MS. And though not everybody with MS is going to have a sensitivity to dairy, it's worth exploring. So if you have multiple sclerosis and you like to drink a lot of milk, or you have noticed that you have a reaction after having dairy, then this might be a factor for you. So there you have it. Those are 5 surprising potential causes of MS that you might not have considered. If one of these resonates with you and you want to find out more, then feel free to pop over to my Instagram account. You can send me a direct message over there. Or if you'd like to explore how functional medicine and nutritional therapy might be able to help you to understand your own underlying cause of your condition, then feel free to book a free initial consultation with me. You will find the link to do that in the show notes. And if you would like to join my new group program, the Inflammation Reset, which will be going through this step by step, it's a 10-step process for you to understand what is at the root of your inflammation, how to address it, and then to prepare a Thrive plan so that you can go on and maintain that level of health after the program finishes. I will put more information about that in the show notes, and you can decide whether that's going to be right for you. And again, feel free to pop over to my Instagram account if you have any questions around that. If not, have a fantastic weekend and I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Thank you very much for joining me today on the Autoimmune Reset. I really hope you enjoyed the discussion, and be sure to subscribe to the podcast so that you never miss an episode. And if you liked it, I would hugely appreciate a review on iTunes, as it helps me understand what you like about the podcast and to help share the information with more people. I'm excited to speak to you next time, and remember, you have the power to take the reins on your health. So keep the faith and celebrate the small wins. Until next time.